Hey, how you doing there, guys? I just wanted to take a few minutes of your time to talk to you about something that I found really useful over the years and something that's been a personal growth for me and that I find interesting as well. It's about having a difficult conversation. What I've noticed over the few years is that a lot of us do not like having a difficult conversation because of what it says on the tin. It's a difficult conversation. And here's one of the reasons why. I feel like a lot of us worry about how the other person would feel by what we say. But here's the thing, we can't control how somebody feels. But what we can control is what we say, how we say it, and our actions. One of the other things that's important in having a difficult conversation is our emotions. I think it's very important not to have a difficult conversation when you're upset. I think if something's upset you, and you wanted to deal with it there and then, it's important that you're not upset when you deal with it. It's like that email example that I used to say, if you want to send an email where you're upset, write the email, but don't send it. Have a look at it the next day, and actually, you might find there's a few things that you want to take away because you find that you're not upset anymore. You're not emotionally angry anymore. So there's a few things that you might want to take away. And one of the things I personally found useful was a book called The Inner Chimp's Paradox. Found really useful about controlling emotions and about being able to articulate how you feel, even though you might be upset and taking the emotion side out of it. It's a really, really good book. The other thing that I found really interesting as well is, and when we have a difficult conversation, is to remain factual and not using loaded words. And what I mean by that is, let's take an example of a colleague or staff that's late maybe once or twice a week. But when we're having that conversation, we use words such as, you're always late. Now, automatically, that individual will become defensive because that's not true. They're not always late. It's just a few days a week they're late. So, because of that, they become defensive. They don't want to listen to what you have to say. There's a breakdown in communication, and that conversation will not go the way that you'd hope for it to go. And the other one in a relationship, another loaded word that we use often is you never listen to me. The individual will feel like, actually, I do listen to you, maybe not as often as you want me to, but because the words such as never, I don't want to listen to you anymore because it's not true what you're saying. So just a quick recap is, we can't worry about how somebody's going to feel, or we can worry about and control over what we have control over is what we say, how we say it, and our actions. Second thing is to remain factual in what we say and not use loaded words. I hope you find this video useful. I hope you find it helpful. Please share it with your friends and your colleagues. And my final message is to say, I don't know what you're going through personally, but what I do know is that God exists and loves you, and hang on to Him because He will never let you go. All right. God bless you. Bye.